Okay, this is a mini lesson on plants and animal cells that I am going to screencast for you guys so that hopefully you can use it to study for your test. The first thing that we want to do is we want to create a list to compare plant cells versus animal cells. We're going to specifically talk about the organelles that are found in each of the cells. So, first thing we're going to talk about is things that are located in both. Well, we should know that there's a cell membrane in both a plant and an animal cell. Cell membrane's job is to control what enters and what leaves the cell. Cytoplasm is also found in both plant and animal cells. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance, fills the space inside of the cells and kind of helps the cell keep some shape, right, so it doesn't become totally deflated. Plant and animal cells are both eukaryotic, and we know that eukaryotic cells should have a nucleus. The nucleus is the control center. It houses the DNA, and the DNA is actually what controls cellular functioning. Inside of that nucleus is a structure called the nucleolus. The nucleolus has a job of making ribosomes. Ribosomes are an organelle that are also found in both plant cells and animal cells. Ribosomes have the job of making proteins. Every protein that your body needs will be made by the ribosome. What's going to happen is the protein that you eat gets broken down by your body. Those small molecules enter the cells, those small molecules being amino acids that make up the proteins. Those amino acids are going to enter your cells, and your ribosomes are going to be able to reassemble those amino acids into new proteins that your body actually needs. Your body doesn't need the proteins that it eats, it needs the proteins that it will make out of the food that you eat. In addition to these organelles, you also have mitochondria. Easy way to think about mitochondria, they are the mighty mitochondria, and they are mighty because they're the organelle that's responsible for generating the energy or making the energy out of the food that you eat. They're responsible for making ATP. ATP is your energy. You also have a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And yes, if I'm writing it all out, you better believe I expect you to know it. And there's a smooth endoplasmic reticulum in the animal cell as well. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum is going to help break down toxic substances like alcohol, like medications. It also has the job of making some of the lipids that your cells require. If you have a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, you can assume that we also have a rough endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum, it is rough because it has ribosomes, rough ribosomes. The rough endoplasmic reticulum's job is to transport the proteins that are made by those ribosomes. They're going to transport them around the cell to be able to do whatever it is that needs to be done. You're also going to have a Golgi, not Golgi, Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus is kind of like a UPS or like a post office. The Golgi apparatus is going to have the job of packaging and distributing substances. If a protein is made by a ribosome on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, the rough endoplasmic reticulum will transport it to the Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus can package it into a vesicle, just a small little sac, right? Package it into a vesicle, and that vesicle will release the protein out of the cell so it can move to wherever it's needed in the body. Maybe it's hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is needed on the outside of red blood cells, not inside. So it needs to be able to get out. Golgi apparatus packages that protein to get it out. In addition, you have organelles that are only found in plant or only found in animal. So, in plant cells, you have chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are the green organelle. They contain pigment chlorophyll to help plants do photosynthesis. There's a cell wall. The cell wall, not in the animal cell wall provides structure and support, right, and rigidity to the plant cell to give it its shape. You also have a central vacuole. Central vacuole is like a big giant water balloon in the plant cell. Its job is to hold water so that the plant can remain upright. If the central vacuole starts to deflate, if the balloon inside starts to deflate, the cell will start to shrivel a little bit, and the plant will start to droop. Water the plant again, central vacuole will fill back up again, and the plant will stand upright. Now, there are two organelles that you cannot find in plant cells, but they are in animal cells. Those are lysosomes. Lysosomes are small little organelles, they're just like a little ball, and they contain digestive enzymes. If you eat food, that food enters your cell, but has to be broken down even more in your cell. The lysosomes are like the stomach of the cell. It's going to digest things even more with those enzymes inside. Then you have structures called the centrioles. The centrioles are going to come back later in the year when we talk about cell division. They have a huge role in cellular division and helping the cell actually divide properly. So, now that we have our list, let's figure out where everything goes in these cells.